Welcome to the Real Life Weight Loss Podcast, where we cut through the confusion and get down to the truth about what really works for real people when it comes to losing weight, having incredible health, and a body that you love. We believe that losing weight is really about gaining life, doing things you never thought you could, having renewed confidence, and enjoying your body more than ever. I'm your host, Corey Little. Now let's get to it. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. This is episode number 246. And with a title like this, there may be some of you who this is your first time because you're like, wait, this guy's got the secret. He's going to tell us how to lose weight without dieting, lose weight without doing a diet. Are you kidding me? I fully confess, the title of this episode sounds like such a great weight loss advertisement, doesn't it? Speaking of advertisements, for those of you who are consistent listeners, I want to hear from you. As I've mentioned on the previous few episodes, in the coming months, one of two things will probably happen, will likely happen. Number one, we'll start having ads on this podcast. Or number two, we'll have like a Real Life Weight Loss Plus community or membership, whatever you want to call it. And that would be just a small monthly fee, probably about $9 or $10, because all of you are so amazing and this podcast has grown so much. And as a podcast grows, the cost to host it and to create it goes up as well. So just to offset some of those costs, we're going to do one of these two things. And this is where I need your feedback. I need to know if you're interested in this. So please just go to losefatlist.com. I'll also include that link in the show notes. And on that page, you'll see everything that would be included if you're interested in that community and that membership. You can put your name, your email on this list as a way of kind of raising your hand and saying, hey, Corey, yes, I'm totally interested in this. And I would jump on it for like $9 or $10 per month. The voting period, the time for you to chime in on this, will go until the end of June, and this is 2023. So let me be very clear. If you are a consistent listener and you do not choose this, by not choosing, you're saying, no, I'm not interested in that. I would rather you do the ads. It's basically like casting a vote for the ads. And that's okay. Look, my point is, it's perfectly okay either way. I love you. I'm thankful for you regardless. But to make the best decision moving forward, I want to hear from you, okay? So take about 60 seconds to do that. Do it. Go do it right now, okay? Now, for any of you who are new and you're like, wait, what is this? Don't worry. That doesn't necessarily apply to you. Let's move forward, and let's talk about losing weight without doing a diet. Back to that, right? Like that. What is this real? Does he really have a solution for this? And like I said, it sounds like a catchy advertisement, right? Lose weight while eating your favorite foods. Burn fat without doing a strict diet. Drop pounds without dieting. Like all of those. We've seen or heard those headlines all over the place in the weight loss world. And they're specifically designed to catch your attention and promise you something that you really, really want. Now, will they deliver? Maybe, but probably not. But is it true? Can you actually lose weight without dieting? Yeah, absolutely. But here's the thing, don't miss this. It's not because of some special supplement or some cutting-edge workout or some special diet that they try to convince you is really not a diet. The secret, the crux of it all, is your perspective. It's your overall approach to losing weight. Now, I'm going to explain more, but first let me make something very clear, just crystal clear. Let me get it out of the way. Regardless of what any diet or supplement or drug promises, the truth is, the only way you'll ever change your body is by changing your lifestyle. The only way you'll ever change your body is by changing what you consistently eat, drink, and do or don't do. That's it. That's the only way true, long-term, life-changing success happens. Period. Now, you may be like, okay, Corey, I hear you. So from what you just shared, that means I do have to do a diet to get results. Well, no. But that perspective, if you feel that way, that's a big part of the problem. And it's a big part of what we overcome in my Inner Circle coaching group. You want to lose weight? Your first thought might be, I got to get on a diet. I got to find a diet. You want to get fit? I got to start a workout plan. I got to get after it. What we don't hear or say or think is, I really want to lose some weight. So I want to start changing how I think, changing how I view food, and how I make food choices and how I make decisions. And I'll take steps to become more active, but not necessarily start some extreme workout plan. That's not where our brain goes. Our brain goes, boom, get on a diet. Boom, start a workout plan. We don't say, I want to lose weight and feel better and get fit, so I'm going to work at changing my lifestyle and changing my choices instead of forcing what will really be, if I'm honest, a temporary diet. That is so much of what we do in my coaching group. And I knew that already, but it became so crystal clear, and I had this massive epiphany with something that happened at church recently. And you may be like, oh boy, here we go. Church stuff, religion stuff. So let me forewarn you. There's like 2 or 3 things we don't talk about, right? Everybody always says, oh, don't talk about politics or religion. I'll add weight to that, right? You don't want to talk about someone else's weight. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? So you don't talk about politics, religion, or weight. We're about to hit 2 of the 3 right here. So you may just want to go ahead and check out now. But if you'll hang with me, I think it can be helpful. Christians will sometimes talk about the difference between religion and relationship. And this was mentioned, I've heard it a million times, but this was mentioned not terribly long ago at church. And I had this massive epiphany. So let me explain this. This concept is that some people try to follow or adhere to Christianity like a set of strict rules and guidelines. Technically, the definition of religion is a particular system of faith and worship, a system. And for some people, that's what their spiritual life consists of, a system of rules, guidelines, and maybe even mindless rituals or reciting of prayers while their mind is actually in a million different places, making their grocery list or thinking about what they have to do the rest of the day. And then, as they're trying to follow this system of rules and guidelines, eventually they mess up. They break the rules. They don't follow the guidelines. And what happens? They feel guilty. Maybe they feel ashamed. Maybe they begin to feel overwhelmed. Like it's all just too much and it's just totally unrealistic. I mean, who could possibly stick to this? Is anything starting to sound familiar? But eventually, something happens in life and they're pulled back to their religion, back to their rigid system of faith, and they come back full of regret, guilt, and shame. And there's a good chance they feel like they should, and they probably will, jump back in with a sort of, dare I say it, all or nothing mentality. And they're doing it right until they don't do it right, until they finally mess up. And then that either pushes them away from their religion again, or it makes them feel terrible, beat themselves up a bit, and then recommit to being perfect, or at least trying to be perfect all over again, and the cycle just repeats itself. Does any of this sound familiar? If you've been listening to this podcast, it probably does. This is religion. And you might be like, yep, Corey, this is exactly why I don't go to church anymore, or yep, that was a lot of my experiences when I was growing up and whatever. So I'm sorry if I'm pressing any buttons here, but hang with me, okay? We're going to make all of this make sense. I really believe it could be eye-opening, and we're going to apply it. I'm going to show you how it perfectly parallels with weight loss. You're probably already seeing that. So the other option, the other version, if you will, of Christianity is not religion, but a relationship, an authentic, interactive relationship with God. In some ways, it's the opposite of the religion that I just described. You're not forcing yourself to follow a system. You're choosing to pursue a relationship with God, with your Creator. It goes from rules, guidelines, possibly mindless rituals, to a very intentional, mindful process. And your decisions are no longer based on rigid shoulds and should nots, but on you acting and choosing to do or not do certain things out of love. As you get to know God better and better, you begin to better understand the incredible forgiveness and unconditional love He has for you, and that results in you learning to forgive yourself and to begin loving yourself. And that spills over into you forgiving and loving others in a way you might never have done before. It's like one big waterfall, one big drenching rain of grace, love, and forgiveness that changes your life in such a powerful way that it can't help but spill over to impact other people's lives around you in incredibly positive ways. That's relationship. You're choosing wonderful things instead of forcing yourself to do certain things. Now, most of you are pretty sharp. If you're listening to this podcast, I think you're really smart. So you probably see where I'm headed here. But a few Sundays ago, when I heard that phrase that I hadn't heard in a while, religion versus relationship, it hit me. This is exactly what I teach my coaching group, and this is what I'm passionate about teaching each and every listener of this podcast. To move from a diet religion where you have strict rules and guidelines and you're prone to regret, shame, overwhelm, and all or nothing. To move from that to a relationship-focused approach to losing weight. To move from that rigid diet religion to pursuing a better relationship with yourself, with food, with your body, and with others, and with life, because all of that matters. If you don't have a great relationship with others, it's really tough to have a great relationship with yourself. If you feel like life is constantly beating you down and you don't have a great perspective or relationship with your life, then it's going to be really tough to lose your weight. We don't function in a vacuum. All of these things overlap and intertwine with each other. This is how you lose weight without dieting. You don't force yourself to follow a diet. Instead, you begin consciously choosing different things. As you shift your perspective, you begin to want, W-A-N-T, to want, to desire different things. Religion, diet mentality says, you have to do this and not do that. Relationship mentality says, I want to do this, and I don't really want to do that other thing much anymore. But it usually doesn't magically happen overnight. It's a process, and as corny as it might sound, it's a process that is based on and fueled by forgiveness, grace, and love. Sadly, many of us, we don't have much of that for ourselves, do we? And maybe we have even less for others. We built our prisons of shame, regret, and bad decisions, and we're trying to break down the walls by forcing ourselves to follow rigid rules. But sadly, that just backfires and it builds the walls that much higher and that much stronger. Oh, but our prison walls, they will dissolve, they will crumble, and we begin to feel empowered to be our best self and live our best life and achieve our best health mentally, physically, and spiritually when we choose grace, forgiveness, and love instead of forcing rules that we don't even want to follow in the first place. Think about it this way. I say that I love my wife. So does that mean that I have to force myself to spend time with her? Do I have to force myself to do something nice for her here and there? Am I constantly wanting to be with other women, but dang it, I can't. I can't do that because I have to, there's that phrase, I have to be faithful to Allie, my wife. No, at least that's not how my marriage is. I want to spend time with my wife. I want to do nice things for her. And sure, other women are beautiful and amazing, and I respect them, but I want to be with the one that I have, my partner and teammate in life. Now, if you're not married, then maybe just think about your best friend. Think about the person you love most in this world. Or maybe if you have kids, think about your relationship with them. You want to be with them. You want what's best for them. You very rarely have to force things. Sure, temptations are real, and they come and they go. And yes, we don't always want to do the best things, and we don't always choose to do the best things. God knows I am far from perfect, and please, if you take nothing away from this podcast, I am not sitting on a high horse or up on some pedestal. I am the furthest thing from always wanting to do the right thing. No, I've made tons of mistakes in my life, but that's where the forgiveness and grace piece comes in. Yes, we don't always want to do the best things, to make the best choices in life or in relationships, but how much easier does it make marriage? How much easier does it make a friendship? How much easier does it make raising your children? And how much easier does it make losing weight, or would it make losing weight, when we want to pursue a great relationship instead of forcing ourselves to do or not do certain things? If 90% of our choices are want to instead of have to, then suddenly the entire perspective is shifted. And you have plenty of willpower energy to knock out that other 10% that you're not really feeling like doing. Now, whether we're talking about losing weight or marriage or raising your kids, that's the difference between relationship and religion, between choice and force, between flexible, forgiving love and rigid, punishing rules. So let's wrap up with a few questions. What approach are you taking? Have you been forcing diets over and over and over again? Or are you pursuing a better relationship with yourself and with food and with your body? And if you had to put a number to it when it comes to your goals, what percentage of your daily decisions are want to? And what percentage are have to? So my faith, my relationship with God has been an incredibly powerful, defining force in my life since I was 11 years old. And when I had the epiphany of how religion versus relationship was exactly what I teach in the weight loss world, it was like, my mind was blown. And I just had to share it. So thank you for giving me this space. Thank you for giving me your time and allowing me to dive into something that for many is a very sensitive topic. Like I said, you don't talk about politics or religion, and we could throw people's weight in there. You don't talk about how much people weigh. And we hit 2 out of the 3 of them in this one episode. So I hope you'll come back for more in the future. Look, if you're a fellow Christian, that's awesome. I got nothing but incredible love for you. If you're not, that's okay. And please know that I got nothing but incredible love and appreciation for you as well. I hope this episode kind of made sense. I hope you can understand the connection and the parallels between religion and relationship when it comes to the weight loss world. I hope it was helpful. I hope you'll share it with someone, maybe even discuss it with them, talk through things. You can be like, oh my gosh, can you believe Corey went there? I can't believe it. And I also hope you'll take about 2 minutes to go and quickly vote at losefatlist.com, L-O-S-E, fat list, losefatlist.com. You can find that link down in the show notes as well. And then last but not least, I hope that you remember and you never forget that there's so much more to you than a number. So maybe step away from the scales instead of stepping on the scales. And please understand that losing weight is amazing, and I love helping people do it, but losing weight is really about gaining life and living the life you've always wanted. And all of that happens, and it happens so much easier, and you can do it without dieting. When you shift your perspective and you start to pursue a better relationship with yourself, a better relationship with food, a better relationship with your body, maybe even a better relationship with others, because that is what allows you to begin to actively choose and want different things instead of forcing different things. And I know you can do it. I believe in you 100%, so even if you don't believe in yourself, it's okay. You keep coming back. I'll keep working on you. We will get you there, my friends. Take care. Thank you so much for your time today. God bless. Bye-bye.